Hi guys, welcome back to the Drive Life channel. In today's video, you join me on our Sunday drive. It's going to be a slightly shorter one today, just because I'm popping out to the shop a long way because Mrs. DL and I had our booster vaccines yesterday, and they've hit her and us pretty hard. So I've been sent out on a Sunday morning to go and get ammunition, supplies. Partly so that we can sit and watch the rugby, but also just to make the day a little easier. So I'm obviously going to go the long way via Wales, as you do. So I'll bring you guys along for that. You're in the passenger seat position today, just because I thought it would be a nice one for you. Yeah, I think last Sunday's one didn't quite work. So thought we'd try something different. I need to get some diesel actually this morning. I don't like to run the car much under a quarter of a tank. I've got 110 miles, but I'll probably fill that up later today, ready for the working week. But yeah, I love getting out and driving at this time on a Sunday. It's 10 o'clock now, so it's not that as quiet as it perhaps could be. I love getting up sort of 7-8 o'clock on Sunday morning because the roads are yours pretty much. There's no one about, everyone's hungover or having a lie-in, so yeah, you can't really beat getting out and just having a drive at this time in the morning, which is one of the reasons I started this drive, Sunday drive series, really, to get out and drive more. Give me an excuse to get out and drive more anyway. So we'll pull out onto the main road. Won't go too mad, the car's still fairly cold. And in Volvo's obviously infinite wisdom, they didn't give us a temperature gauge, so we'll keep the revs fairly low. The gearbox seems to sort of know the car's not too warm, and also sort of short shift at 2,500 when you push on a bit, so it's quite good. It sort of protects itself, which is nice. We had a bit of a storm last night. It was horrible rain. Mrs. DL and I have been to the pub and I was driving back, and it was just, yeah, a bit grim. So we'll see what wake of the storm has left us, I suppose. And this is the most direct route into Wales from where I live, so it's a nice, quick and easy way to get to some nice roads. Although actually, the England part of this road is pretty good as well, I tend to find. But yeah, for those of you that may have seen on my Instagram, drivelife.volvo, if you're not already following, there's been a modification to the S80, and it's going to be released in a later video next week, preparing it for its trip. There's a bit of a giveaway to where the trip is to, or at least tells you. So we're going to be driving the car to Europe in just over a week's time. It's going to be a 4,000 mile trip into and around Europe. We're going to do 6 different countries, go via the Eurotunnel. Otto, our little black lab puppy, is coming with us as well. I'll be releasing a series on that, sort of just demonstrating all of the whole trip really, because it is Wales. It's going to be a fantastic trip and I'm really excited. So yeah, that's coming up very soon. I've been slowly preparing the car. Those of you that have been nagging me about my transmission fluids change, the reason I haven't done it yet is because it was actually done just before I got the car. I was going through the receipts of the day and found that it had been done already at around 75,000 miles, so that was just over 30,000 to go. So I'll probably do that once we get back from our trip. It'll be over about 113,000 once we finish our trip. So we're nearly 109 now, so yeah, we'll do it after that, because the trip is going to be, the majority of it going to be long sort of cruises along the motorway really. It does involve me leaving the house at 3 AM to catch our Euro tunnel, so that'll be an interesting one. I might even film that just to show you guys how miserable I am that early in the morning. Yeah, you can see what I mean by just how quiet it is. We've got two cars, we did have one car in front now. It's, yeah, just lovely. This part of Wales is lovely to sort of come into after a storm. The colours, the scenery are much more dramatic. It's like someone's turned the saturation up really. And it looks like we're going to be going into some rain now. Just typical, but it'll be a good chance for you guys to see the car in the rain. Normally you can see the lovely hills in front, but there's too much rain, so you can't. Still going here, doesn't it? We've got rain, you can hear the wind, you can feel it moving the car around. So what was meant to be a nice relaxing Sunday drive is perhaps not the nicest weather, but there's nothing this car can't handle on the weather front really. It's designed obviously and built in Scandinavia, designed to be able to cope with minus 40 degrees Celsius, cold start, etc. So yeah, it's one of the reasons I love this car is that even in this weather it just feels sure-footed. You almost don't notice really the inclement weather. It's not really something that you need to consider. Obviously we've got some decent tyres with the Michelin cross climate, which will make a difference, but yeah, it's just nice, isn't it? Those of you who've got one who know, the P3s are just very sort of sure-footed and solid. You can tell the car's cold because although we're going into a headwind, it's sitting at around 42 mpg, cruising at 50, so it's not particularly happy or up to temperature yet. And once it warms up, you can see it gets more efficient. It doesn't feel looser, but it feels better. Which is what I always go on about. Allowing your car to warm up in the winter. Go here now into the lovely village of New Radnor, which has got a lot of sort of historical buildings, and it's got this lovely thing here, monument I suppose it is. But if we see someone in New Radnor this time on a Sunday morning, very rare indeed. It's a very sleepy little place in the Radnor Valley. There's normally a village shop that I always try and come to on my way to work, and they always shut early. Well, yeah, you can feel the wind. Oh, we've got a Sainsbury's delivery driver. Doing there, just blocking the road, I think. when you've got a load of stuff you've got to drop off and there's nowhere to park. I don't envy those guys at all. The transit there with the wheel missing, I don't know if that's done by the owner or something else. But yeah, let's come out of the village now, make our way back to England. It's a nice, quick, easy little loop, this one. But these drives are just nice, they give you a chance to relax, clear your thoughts, enjoy yourself. Let's give the car a bit of it. This half throttle, it just sounds awesome, doesn't it? D5. Lovely, lovely engine. That's synonymous with Volvo, isn't it? Obviously Fiat and Audi and Volkswagen used to have 5-cylinder diesels. Unfortunately, all these sort of engines have gone now with these modern cars. These Volvo discontinued the 5-cylinder D5 in I think it was 2014, 2015. They did sell some a few years later that hadn't been registered or sort of leftover engines, but yeah, it's a shame to see this sort of engine go in favour of more electric and hybrid cars. And I understand that there's an environmental thing to consider, but there's far more environmental issues happening with sort of production of batteries and lithium, etc., than me driving my diesel Volvo around. I can drive this car for 5 years at the mileage I do and not emit as much CO2 as it takes to build a new electric car. So I think we need to consider that more. It's more about how much we consume cars rather than what they actually produce. I mean, for example, the Jeep, how old is that car? That is 14 years old. In that time, most people would have changed their car at least 4 or 5 times. To build those, you're looking at tons of CO2 per car to build. Suddenly, actually, the Jeep doesn't look too bad if you look at your personal footprint. Driving the Jeep around doesn't look too bad. But yeah, it's just I think it's the way the world is going, isn't it? The key is now to buy classic cars because they seem to be exempt from everything. So as technology gets newer, we'll have to buy older cars and qualify for no tax and no MOT, which seems a little crazy. But I suppose they make up such a small proportion. We're quite lucky here in the UK that diesel isn't taxed more. I know in Holland a couple of you guys are saying that you have to pay sort of €400 a month tax on your car, which is just absolutely mental in my eyes. Here in the UK I pay about £20 a month, or I suppose that's €30, but 25 euros. So yeah, pretty crazy really. The difference, or the different approaches that European countries are taking. This car is not ULEZ compliant, so if I wanted to drive it into the middle of London, those who don't know, ultra low emission zone in London, I would have to pay £12.50 per day to take that into it. I live very far away from London and it's not somewhere I'm really interested in going, so if I have to go with work or something, I'll take the train and drive down to visit family in Essex, and then yeah, take the train in, so I'm not too worried really. But yeah, it seems that the rain and the weather is making its way towards England, doesn't it? Because I can. As we head back to England, the weather gets brighter, so perhaps the Welsh are still a bit upset about losing to Ireland yesterday in the rugby. Although I'm still pretty upset at losing to Scotland. So I understand how they feel. But yeah, I'll wrap that video up there, guys. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I hope you're having a brilliant Sunday, and I will well, have a good week, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.